Those in favor say aye. Roll call.
Earl Baker. Kenny Barr. Barbara Bennett. Levon Cheney. Brian Kaufman. Dennis Gertovich.
Yes.
Jesse Durbin. Gary Gergany.
Yes.
Richard Hayden.
Here.
Robert Jordan.
Here.
Kay Carney. Larry Lenz.
Yes.
Terry Metzger.
Yes.
Frank Mulholland.
Yes.
Bobby Orman.
Yes.
Gary Patterson.
Yes.
Robert Simpson. David Switz.
Yes.
Dale Weatherell.
Yes.
Lynn Williams.
Yes.
We will report no action was taken during the closed session. And we're out of it. We have chairman updates. I have no real updates for the month. Haven't received any mail. Chairman appointments is 14. We will have individual roll call votes. I'd like to appoint Dr. Doris Bowers to the County Health Board.
That's the move.
Dale, second by Gary. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'd like to submit Rick Travis for the County Health Board.
So moved.
Got Barb and Frank. Any discussion? If none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. I'd like to appoint Barbara Bennett to the County Health Board. Need a motion?
So moved.
Frank. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Dr. Richard Brown of the Airport Commission.
So moved. I second.
Lynn and Simpson. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. John Hall to the Airport Commission.
So moved.
I got Bob and Barb. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Okay, Ken Fry to tourism.
So moved.
Got Frank. Second by Lynn. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Ray Miller to tourism. Jesse Durbin and Dale Weatherall. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Sandy Stanky to tourism. Jesse and Gary. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Nancy Pruitt.
So moved.
Tourism. Fred Mohan. Those opposed say, or those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. And Mark Shanks to tourism. Kay and Barb. Those opposed or in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Okay. That's carried. We need approval of claims. We got a motion to approve the claims as reviewed by the county bill committee. We got David Switz and Brian Kaufman. Those in favor of paying, those in favor of payment of claims, this is a roll call.
Baker.
Yes.
Barr.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Cheney.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Gertovich.
Yes.
Durbin.
Yes.
Gergany.
Yes.
Hayden.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
Carney. Lenz.
Yes.
Metzger.
Yes.
Mulholland.
Yes.
Orman.
Yes.
Patterson.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Switz.
Yes.
Weatherell.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Public body comment. I got something to say. Yes, ma'am. I don't know you, so please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Laurie Heather. I'm from Taylor. Actually, you represent my district.
I do.
Shelby. First thing I want to say is that, from what I understand, and I'm not trying to be mean. I don't dislike anybody. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But the state's attorney is the county's attorney, is the way I understand it. She paid a salary. I mean, when I look at this, I'm going, why are we hiring another attorney, a private firm attorney, to So that's my number one thing. I've read the articles, I've listened to audio from all of this. Actually, I was very disappointed in some of it. I want to stand for honesty and truth and justice, and this is not justice, what has been done. And Chairman Cannon, I'm asking you to step down. I believe that you knew, all of you guys were told that this needed to be changed, that it was against the law. And as a law-abiding citizen, I don't think you guys should get by with that. So, and the courts will decide that, obviously. But you were warned that you weren't doing it the right way, and you did not change. If if you're knowingly doing something illegal, that's wrong. If you don't know about it, then I can kind of give you a break on that. But you were told multiple times. So I believe anybody on board that agrees to just pay it, they should step down also.
Vice Chair, I say don't step
Okay. Any other, ma'am?
My name is Margaret Davidson, and I'm disgusted with the whole United States of America, how things are going. So I feel a responsibility to start educating myself and cleaning up my own backyard first. So I've been reading and watching and attending meetings. And I witnessed the board in Shelbyville vote to continue to do things in an illegal fashion. And that was kind of embarrassing to me as a community member. Then I heard on the board at a meeting, just pay the bill, or I've always paid my bills. We got to pay a bill whether it's illegal or not. And I understand that, but then maybe you as a board could dig in your own pockets and come up with the money to pay that bill rather than taking it out of taxpayers' money. And then my third point, the Shelby County State's Attorney, every meeting I've been to, she's never been in attendance, and it delays the progress that you all are trying to make because she's not here, doesn't have, and I don't mean her personally, but that position, and happens to be a woman, she delays your progress and your success. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening to me.
Thank you.
Martha?
To kind of piggyback what Margaret said about the state's attorney not being able to be here all the time. There are days that she has court cases. I know we talked about it before about moving these meetings to evening. I hear a lot of chatter in the community from folks that cannot leave work to come to these meetings, but it's their taxpayer dollars the decisions are being made about, and they want to be in attendance. They don't have the vacation time to take it off all the time. I think given the issues that we have going on in the county right now, every taxpayer should have at least an opportunity to be here. And I'd just like to ask, once again, to reconsider moving to evening meetings so we can have more constituents come hear the business that you're doing on their behalf.
Thank you, Martha. Anybody else? Sam?
Let me say something first, Mike Short. Marcia White, phone, like earlier, and taxpayer. And I'm saying yea and amen to everything I have heard these three ladies say. And my further one is to not know is one thing. To know and not do makes you a part of the problem and an instigator too. Sorry, but that's the truth. It's time for you guys to rise up, righteously indignant, don't smack each other, and don't yell. But you need to be polite, rise up, and go in a correct direction. Thank you.
Kurt?
Thank you, Chairman.
I will try to be very brief. Got some questions that I don't expect the answers at the time. It would be nice if it would come at some point. The last special meeting held was an illegal meeting. It was not called by 1/3 of the board members. The chairman has no authority to call a special meeting. Chairman's not elected at large, and that's a requirement in order for him to have the power to call a special meeting. During that meeting last week, he went into closed session. I've requested the portion of the closed session that included discussions not permitted in a closed session. I'm not seeking proper discussion, only those outside the criteria set by the Open Meetings Act. If that information is not provided, we intend on filing a lawsuit for it, and rest assured we will get it, just as we have every time. I'm asking it to be turned over immediately so we can save everyone a whole lot of embarrassment and going to court and having it proven in court that you violated the Open Meetings Act. With those improper discussions, please note, violations of the Open Meetings Act are a crime. It's a Class C misdemeanor. If it's not turned over immediately, I will advise our attorney to move forward with that lawsuit. Those discussions included childish ranting about the treasurer, to include calling her a tyrant. It's a sad day when a chairman thinks he can run county government as if he was the CEO of a corporation. Chairman, you were elected as a board member just like everyone else. Not a CEO, not a president, not a mayor, just a board member. This board cannot go into closed session under the claim of personnel so you can talk about the treasurer. She does not work for you. She's duly elected by the people and answers to the people. Nor can you go into closed session and make a motion to take any kind of action against the treasurer or anyone else for that matter. And if your state's attorney advised you that you could, I urge you to ask your state's attorney to resign. I agree with what the lady said a few minutes ago. Part of your biggest problem is you don't have legal counsel. Your audit confirmed payroll fraud with the sheriff's office. How interesting, there was no mention of the illegal claims for pay made by the chairman in that audit, nor have we found any reference to illegal pay raises by the state's attorney in the past audits. Several months ago, there were calls for a forensic audit, yet now, crickets. Is that because such an audit would confirm the illegal claims by the chairman? Illegal pay raise for the state's attorney? Or is it more about ensuring you don't have to have an independent confirmation that your treasurer is spot on with what she has been telling you for over a year? Now, our numbers point to over $113, I believe, $1,000 in 1 year in overpayments. Let that sink in. 1 year, over $113,000. If you're not aware, you're now being sued to stop any payments to Ed Flynn. That's an independent lawsuit brought on by one of your future board members. We're quite confident that suit will prevail over the BS complaint by the private attorney. How many have read the 4-page complaint that Mr. Flynn filed? Has any of you read it? Okay, I would urge that you please read it, because there's some very telling information in there when you tie it together with what's been going on the last 5 months. And item number 3, it says Flynn was approached by members of the county board to provide new services. Any members here that did that, or was that you, Mr. Chairman?
Well, it was myself and Dave through it in 2013. 2013 is when we talked.
Why is transparency a problem, Ms. Bennett?
We don't have to answer you. You're out of county, bud.
If he wants to answer, let him answer.
I have the floor, please. I said when I started, I'm not requiring, I'm going to ask questions, I hope that we get answers. Part of solving the problem is to address the questions that are being raised. And if you don't want to, that's fine. I'm not saying that you're required to. I understand it completely. Number 4, he says, subject to the approval of the Shelby County State's Attorney to approve Ed Flynn. Now, your state's attorney has not said that she approved it. In fact, if she approved it, why would she write a letter to the state's or to the Attorney General asking them whether or not it was legal? She didn't tell them that she approved it, but Ed Flynn claims that she did. There's no record of her ever approving it. In fact, conversations are to the contrary. He echoes again in number 5, were approved by the Shelby State's Attorney to provide legal services. There's no record of any such approval. Number 6, subject to the approval of the state's attorney. He goes on and echoes over and over and over, approved by the state's attorney. The state's attorney can hire a private counsel to work in her office if you give approval to increase the number of assistant state's attorneys. There's a provision there. That's never been followed. We're talking about helping fix this problem and save the county money. He's wanting $15,000 from you. Your treasurer took a stand based on solid case law that says no. Your state's attorney has yet to take the steps to provide legal counsel for her. That's a problem, and it's a huge problem that's going to lead to a bigger one legally if it's not done. She has admitted there's a conflict between her representing the board and representing the treasurer. Therefore, she's duty-bound to seek from the courts an appointed attorney to represent whichever party she's not going to represent. She's taken no steps to do anything, to include even answering the complaint. So I don't know what the plan is, but if it goes to a default judgment because she did nothing, you're going to end up paying the money out unless Mr. Bennett's case, which I'm quite confident will win. But your state's attorney has taken the position of what's called quantum merit as grounds to pay you. Quantum merit is a legal principle, and Ms. Bennett, I've heard you talk about it. They did the work, they should get paid. Well, there's case law on that point. And there's circumstances where quantum merit is valid, and there's cases where it's not. And you know where it's not? It's in the Ashton v. Cook case that we cited on day one. I presented this. Quote from the Illinois Supreme Court, to permit recovery of compensation in these cases on a quantum merit would in legal effect give sanction to the giving of public funds to private use for the performance of duties which the law imposed upon the state's attorney and for which he receives the salary fixed by law. The Supreme Court said quantum merit is not a valid claim when an elected official farms out her duties. That case is perfectly on point. The case that she has cited is not on point. It's about somebody in a school board that didn't put something out for bid. The contractor did the work. It used to be the contractor's problem. They were required to make sure it was current. If the law wasn't filed, so said, too bad. March of this year, the Supreme Court reversed it and sided with the contractor that now it's not their fault. The public body needs to pull their head out and do it right. He shouldn't be penalized for it. I can see that as a valid argument. But when it's an elected official, that's not the case. Under the quantum merit, that case will fail miserably. Tom DeVore is representing Mr. Bennett, and we've spoken to several law firms, and I've told you this over the last 4 months. He has no case. Number 10, he says it is unjust for the defendant, the county, to reap the benefits of plaintiff's services without paying plaintiffs for the services rendered. Unjust to the defendant. Here's what the Supreme Court said. The law is well settled that when the Constitution or the laws of the state create an office, prescribe the duties of its incumbent, and fix its compensation, no person or board, except by action of the legislature, has the authority to contract with private individuals to expend public funds for the purpose of performing duties imposed upon such officer. If it's unjust to the defendant, how is it not unjust to the citizens when case law says you don't pay it? You have a grievance. The grievance with the FOP is because they're going to get paid after doing their work. Fight the grievance, but do it with legal counsel. And if your legal counsel is not going to represent you, demand that she go to the court and the judge assign you the legal counsel that is. She's admitted conflict. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has she admitted conflict in your case, Erica? So if she's admitted a conflict, she can't represent both sides. But she's not doing anything. You're going to end up in a bigger problem that you're going to have to pay out. I can assure you, Mr. Bennett, you're going to win your case. I have no doubt he's going to win. And the next step is to recover all that money. So while you're worried about what it's going to cost us to represent, you already have legal representation by law. The taxpayers already paid for it. Don't make them pay again. That's all I have. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.